Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I'm the Gothic Rose, and this is the dark tale of the day. Let me take this moment to reintroduce myself. I am the Gothic Rose, hostess of the Dark Entertainment Network. This is a channel where the news meets conspiracy theories and makes babies in my brain, and it comes out my mouth. I do this because I enjoy it. If you like this type of content, please follow along, because I'm not going to stop. Welcome back, dear fiends of the den. As you can see, we've got a new look here at the Dark Entertainment Network. I put 4 designs to a vote. You can check the stories. And this lady won here. I love her because one hand is a microphone and one hand seems to be a sickle, which you can't quite see in the background removal here, but this is an AI image. Both of them are. It's just something I conceptualized because I wanted to update the look here in the den. So thank you guys for all of your votes, your comments, your help, and your support so far. I am just overwhelmed by the growth in new subscribers and views. And just thank you guys so much for enjoying my passion project as much as I do. So let's get to the haunted history of Hollywood. We are still in the golden age of silent films, and I've been talking about the creation of SAG. I've been talking about Mary Pickford, Douglas Fairbanks, the king and queen of Hollywood, their home Pickfair, which became a cultural arts center, and surprisingly, Thomas Edison being part of all of this. But let's talk a little bit today about really how fascinating the golden age of silent films was in terms of creativity and experimentation of films. So let's talk about first the production values. So the budget resources that were available to filmmakers greatly varied, just like today. We have low budget and high budget films. But the high budget films like Ben Hur, A Tale of the Christ in 1925 showcased lavish sets, detailed costumes, and innovative special effects, while lower budget productions often relied on modest setups and reused props, which is not a bad thing. That's not wasteful, but that wasn't considered a high budget film. So these old films, I really wish that I had an entire library of them just here on a personal note. So in terms of cinematography, directors like F.W. Murnau, Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans, and D.W. Griffin, Intolerance, pioneered groundbreaking camera techniques such as tracking shots and expressive lighting. However, many Many lesser known films used static cameras and straightforward framing, resulting in a noticeable gap in visual sophistication. And then there was the narrative complexity. So some silent films had intricate layered stories. Think The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari with its psychological twists, while others relied on simpler, more formulaic plots to appeal to wider audiences. So there were different genres then. It just all fell under the umbrella of silent film. And then, of course, the acting style. Silent films required actors to rely heavily on physical gestures and facial expressions to convey emotion because dialogue was not an option. So the skill level of the actors varied. Stars like Charlie Chaplin, Greta Garbo, Douglas Fairbanks, and Mary Pickford perfected the art of subtlety, whereas some performances leaned more towards melodrama or exaggeration. And I have to say, I love both. I think both really just tell the tale of Hollywood films in that time. And then, of course, technical innovation. So, advances in editing, set design, and film length shaped the quality of the silent films. So early films like The Great Train Robbery in 1903 focused on basic storytelling, while later masterpieces such as Metropolis 1927 utilized sophisticated editing and futuristic set designs. And that is a big gap, 1903 to 1927. It really is. And we know that in 1903, Edison hadn't really come along and patented any of his filmmaking equipment yet. So it was much more rudimentary, but we got some great films as well from that time. And I don't think a lot of them exist so much. I'm going to have to look back on that. So there was, of course, soundtrack and music because silent films lacked synchronized dialogue. Live orchestra or piano accompaniments often enhanced their emotional impact. Some films had meticulously composed scores, while others relied on generic music and sometimes the musician just making it up as he goes along while trying to catch up with the film either being too slow or sometimes the film was too quick. So they had to put a little ditty in the middle. Oops, didn't mean to say ditty. Whoops. The difference often came down to resources, vision, and artistry of the filmmakers involved. So some of these examples of the great artistry of silent films are Metropolis in 1927, directed by Fritz Lang. This German Expressionist masterpiece is renowned for its futuristic set design and groundbreaking special effects. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, 1920, a landmark in German Expressionism. This film is celebrated for its twisted visual style and psychological narrative. The Passion of Joan of Arc, 1928, directed by Carl Theodor Dreyer. This film is praised for its intense performances and striking close-ups. Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans, 1927, F.W. Murnau's romantic drama, is a technical marvel, blending innovative cinematography with a heartfelt story. And finally, Battleship Potemkin, 1925, Sergei Eisenstein's Soviet propaganda film, is famous for its revolutionary editing techniques and iconic Odessa Steps sequence. So these films are not only visually stunning, but also culturally significant, influencing generations of filmmakers. Now, in my mind, some of this filmmaking has been lost on some of these bigger budget films in today's Hollywood climate, I guess, let's say. I think things focus on, I don't know, more, the AI, which is fine. I did it right here in the den with art, but it focuses more on using AI and all of these special effects, I think sometimes to the detriment of the storytelling. I would like to see more of a blend of the art of storytelling with great directing, camera angles, editing, and also the use of AI special effects to really combine old Hollywood with new Hollywood. So let's talk more tomorrow on the haunted history of Hollywood, and stay tuned for the hot mess of Hollywood, probably 2 to 3 times a week as I put together all of my thoughts on current Hollywood messes, basically. And thank you so much for joining me in the den. And if you like this content, please like, subscribe, comment, and hit that bell. And I'll see you next time. Thanks again. And if you forgot, I am the Gothic Rose.